If you didn't hear the starting lineups, I'll repeat them real quick. For Hudson, senior defenseman, or I'll just say, I won't even say it because all of these kids are seniors who are out there, but number 3, Braden Miller, number 5, Sam Jacobson, number 6, Cole Ober, number 7, Connor Seidel, number 12, Riley Neer, number 14, Corey Denning, number 17, Lou Smith, number 18, Cade Nickerson, number 20, Nick Thompson, who I don't believe is playing tonight. I saw him in dress pants and some nice shoes on the field, along with Colton Prater, Gustav Varensberg, and Jared Biederman. For Shy High, they tote out a squad with plenty of young players on it. I remember calling a few freshmen as we are already off and underway after I was talking about the lineups. As Hudson's going to try and attack the right flank on the offensive end early. Chippewa Falls, though, able to weather the storm a little bit and keep it out for a deep Hudson throw-in. So Hudson will try and work with it. Throw in towards Corey Denning. Connor Seidel is going to try and fight for it. But Chippewa Falls able to clear it away from their own zone. And after a bad pass from Jared Biederman, Chippewa Falls is going to trade possession with Hudson a little bit in Hudson's end. The distinction between these two teams tonight in the uniform department, Hudson wearing their long sleeve navy kits, and the Chippewa Falls going all white with an accent of red for their kits tonight. In Hudson, as Colton Prater will control the ball, he's going to try and find Sam Jacobson, and does. Jacobson, moving past the 30-yard mark of the football field, is going to move that one up towards the right wing side. An attempt at a through ball there, but that's going to be cleaned up by Steele Brook, the sophomore goalkeeper for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. So Brook's going to send that one towards midfield. Going to go past Braden Miller. And Cole Ober will try and pick up the slack there. Prater was also trying to make a play on it. Ober back to Miller. Miller's going to try and find Gustav Varensberg, but the ball was a bit too wide, so it'll be a Chippewa throw-in. After a quick throw-in, Chippewa trying to head it in their favor. That was Jacob Bowe, who got his head on the ball after the throw-in. Colton Prater's going to pick up possession of the ball in the back end, trying to find Sam Jacobson, but Jacobson left that one for Lou Smith to pick up. Chippewa wins possession in midfield. Hudson trying to stagnate this Chippewa threat of gaining possession, as both teams haven't really had a good scoring chance yet, but to be fair, it's only been about 2.5 minutes in the third minute of this soccer match. As Chippewa Falls is getting a substitution out here soon, Ethan Sauer, I think that's how you pronounce it. Hudson with possession, though. Hudson trying to work the edges, work the flanks a little bit. Pass intended for Corey Denning. Denning doesn't get it right away, but he fights for it. Connor Seidel with it. Seidel's going to hold on to it. He's being surrounded by 3 Cardinal defensemen, or not defensemen, but 3 Cardinal players, as Lou Smith tried to find either Corey Denning or Gustav Varensberg on a run. Lou Smith with it now. He's going to try and shield his assignment off the ball, as that one trickles all the way towards midfield. Will be picked up by Sam Jacobson, and after he gets pressured, Prater with the wonderful play, the senior co-captain for this Hudson Raiders squad, playing defenseman tonight for senior night. Getting some players more experience on the front line, as Colton has been a force in midfield. He's played more of a center attacking mid, and he has been a main creator and goal scorer for this Raider squad so far this season. So Varensberg with it. Varensberg is going to try and find Denning, and does. Denning having a Cardinal of shadowing him right behind, as Brady Miller trying to find someone in the box, and does. Varensberg receives a pass. Varensberg trying to find Nickerson after Nickerson gave him a pass. Shot off the post. That was Sam Jacobson who took a crack at it. Hudson still with possession. They're going to try and continue this pressure as Chippewa Falls is able to hold and be able to fend off Hudson's offensive attack. And we will not get a sub yet, it looks like. So Sarah will wait a little bit longer. Denning with it. Too heavy of a touch there and puts that one right in front of a Chippewa defender. Chippewa, though, once more, even though gaining possession in the midfield, can't move it through Hudson's last line of defense, or the back line of defense. As that ball goes out of play once more, this time on the opposite end, and it will be a Chippewa throw-in, as we will get a substitution for Chippewa. Checking into the game for the Cardinals, number 17, Ethan Sauer. So the sophomore midfielder getting some action here during Hudson's senior night. As a welcome to the game for Jared Biederman. First time I've called his name. Might not have been the first time he's touched it, but first time I've called his name for sure. Connor Seidel finds Corey Denning. Denning's going to try and fit a really long through ball, and Varensberg could not be anywhere close to receiving that pass. So about 7 minutes into this game, early part, as Hudson is still knotted up with the Cardinals, 0-0. Hudson, though, adding some extra offensive intensity, playing with a lot of effort, and they are trying to go up early and often as they are prepping to come back here this weekend to play some more playoff soccer against the Cardinals. So good move by Lou Smith. Smith is going to try and maneuver his way into the box, but he gets the ball taken away from him last minute. Hudson will have to reset about 30 yards out. Oh, next Tuesday. My bad. Ryan informed me that it was next Tuesday. That's when the playoffs are. My apologies. So a week from now, we'll see these two teams match up once more, with a buffer in between being the River Falls game. In River Falls, Hudson's last trip of the regular season. Corey Denning receives a pass. Denning trying to find a runner on the right flank. Couldn't find him. Possession taken away easily as Chippewa Falls is going to try their hand, take a stab at a long through ball. Doesn't quite work out, though, as Biederman will roll that one out to Prater. Prater trying to find someone on the wing, and does. Good run here for Hudson, but they don't have many members of the cavalry coming to help. Denning, though, is one of those few members. Denning is going to try and find Nickerson in the box. Ball is free, and Chippewa is able to clear it out, as that was a really wonderful early chance. But either way, it would have been all for naught, because Cade was offside through his effort of winning possession in the box. So Chippewa Falls is going to continue with a goal kick, holding it in their own end. Passes going high, but not too far as of right now. Miller's going to collect it. Seidel with it. Seidel's going to move. He's going to move backwards, and he makes an errant pass, but he's able to recover after a one-touch pass went straight back to him. As that looked like that was Mason Brune, who was the aggressor on the front line for Chippewa Falls in winning possession, but couldn't quite execute that extra pass that he wanted. So another pass a bit too far. This time it was intended for Seidel. Hudson going to try and move it around the back end. try and spread out the field. As a big ball over, and that is a offside, as a Cole Ober had the right idea trying to get that up to Nickerson and couldn't quite contain himself. Was Cade, frothing at the opportunity to get a shot on goal, and now 2 of his efforts have been marked by the side judge as not in the confines of the rules. So we're just passing 10 minutes, so we're in the 11-minute mark of this match. Still 0-0 between these two teams. As we will see what Chippewa can do as a defenseman really fighting against Lewis Smith. Smith, though, able to win possession after a help of a teammate shadowing behind him, that being Braden Miller. Miller's going to find Ober. Ober's going to find Varensberg. Varensberg is going to take a shot, and that was on a downward angle, and there was an attempt by Brook to save it, and we will get another substitution, that being Ashton Roper. Checking into the game for the Cardinals, number 19, Ashton Roper. Goal kick for Chippewa after being able to keep Hudson off of a 1-goal advantage for a little while now, as Chippewa hasn't had much offensive success early on in this match. As their only real big attempt was a through ball between 2 defenders and was about 20 yards in front of where their striker ended up, who was going to receive that pass. So throw in for Braden Miller. He's going to try and find Lou Smith. Lou Smith turns that one forward, upfield, trying to corner a defenseman, and does, but a smart move there by Chippewa. And by Chippewa, I mean Kyle Siddons, who kicked that one off of the tall Lou Smith. So Hudson with possession again. Now they're towards the midfield. Moving it past that mark. Nice, or potentially a nice ball, but a little bit too much mustard on it. That one rolls out of play. So we get another substitution for Chippewa, that being Colin Albright. Checking into the game for the Cardinals, number 6, Colin Albright. So another goal kick ends up with Chippewa sort of being pinned in their own territory, trying to move the ball out of it. And another aggressive play from Hudson will lead to the ball rolling out of play and another goal kick for Shy High. So big ball towards midfield. Is that one going past Miller, and it was touched last by Jordan Simonson. So a throw in for Hudson will be collected by Cole Ober. Over to Prater. Prater's going to try and find someone at the forward position, but a good defensive stand there from Chippewa. Corey Denning collects it in the midfield. Ober receiving a pass from Sam Jacobson. Ober finding Denning. Denning finding Riley Neer on the back end, and Neer was trying to advance that one forward. Too much aggression over the back of a Hudson midfielder, and that will, a free kick will ensue about 46 yards away from goal. So Prater will take it. Usually it'd be Thompson from here, I would think, but Prater, being a defenseman for tonight's game, will try and find Cade Nickerson, and Cade could not turn that one on goal. Goal kick for Chippewa going over the head of Varensburg and near knocking a Chippewa player in pursuit of the ball. Varensburg's going to find Prater. Prater's going to hesitate. He's going to move through himself. Is he going to find someone? And he definitely tries, but it's deflected over to Varensburg. Varensburg over to Near. Near trying to find Nickerson near the top. And we will get a 4 or 5-man substitution. Well, it looks like it'll be about 6 now. So 2, 15, 23, 8, 10, and 19. So there are plenty of subs coming up for Hudson. And speaking of Hudson, they've won possession after Chippewa held it a little bit in Hudson's end. Prater trying to move it all by himself through midfield and gets it taken away from him, but Seidel able to pick it up for him. And we will get... Oh, I guess not. We won't get our substitutions right now. As Smith gets pinned by 2 defensemen. Not able to keep the ball in the attacking end for Hudson, but Hudson's still able to gain possession in their own end towards midfield. Both teams trading possession back and forth as we are entering we're in the 17th minute of play right now. We're going to be close to the 18th minute of play as that ball is going to roll far out of play. And we will get our substitutions. This is a big one.
Checking into the game for the Hudson Raiders, number 2, Paul Phillipson, number 8, Joey Grickus, number 10, Sam Ross, number 15, Trevor Nava-Barber, number 19, Lake Busecki, and number 23, Alex Ewing.
So that was relatively painless. As Hudson will have a throw-in in their own zone. That one going to go over the head of Grickus. And that ball, after Chippewa had possession for a little bit, is just going to be rolled out of play. So good play there from Hudson as Grickus will collect the ball, finding Phillipson. Phillipson's going to go back to Grickus, up to Prater. Grickus is going to try and move it himself, but he's got 3 defenders around him with no help in front. So Chippewa with possession for a little while, and they are just going to kind of punt it right back to them. It seems like Chippewa is always on 4th down. They just keep giving it right back to Hudson deep into their own end. They're certainly pressuring, though, as you can see right now, as Cole Ober had the ball taken off him as he was a bit off his line. Prater gaining possession in the midfield. He's going to fight off 2 midfielders, and he's going to find a teammate. That teammate being Sam Ross, who tried to fit it into Nava-Barber or Phillipson. As Hudson wins a throw-in, it will be taken by Braden Miller. No, never mind. Scratch that. It'll be Chippewa Falls winning the throw-in. And it will be taken by Mason Brune. Brune trying to find a forward or midfielder. Try and cut through Hudson's back line, but doesn't look like that will be the case. As Chippewa Falls is another substitution on this chilly night. That will be number 20, Mitchell Romanstead. So Sam Ross going to fight through number 17, Ethan Sauerer. Or Sarah-er. And a pass from Prater could not be handled by Busecki. So we will get our Chippewa substitution.
Checking into the game for the Cardinals, number 20, Mitchell Romanstead.
So after that ball is collected by Jared Biederman, Biederman will punt that one towards midfield. Grickus is trying to track it, and he's able to, but can he keep possession? Good control there from number 8, and Grickus is able to keep that one for Hudson. Denning finding Prater in the middle of the field. Prater's going to leave that one up to one of his defensemen, that being Cole Ober. Ober's going to find Denning. Denning knocks over a Cardinal. Pass goes back out to the back line. Hudson trying to move back and forth. And Hudson will find themselves once more with Biederman in possession. 22nd minute here, still no score if you're just joining us, as both teams have not been able to really crack at the foundation of either one's defense, as Nava Barber has a good look at it, but just kind of didn't have a good angle at it. He certainly had a good chance. And Ross will fight for it, and Ross will win a corner for the Raiders. It will be their first one of the night. They've had a deep throw-in Chippewa's defensive area, but this will be the first corner of the night for the boys in navy and white. They'll take it short, real short, up to Sam Ross. Ross finding Colton once more. Prater's going to take a shot, and that somehow is saved by Steele Brook. As Chuck would say, media mogul Adam Tilson added a comment that it was a nice shot, and it was, as Prater was trying to fit it in under the crossbar. Couldn't quite get it, though. Good effort by Steele Brook, the sophomore goalkeeper. So cross after another corner kick is in the box. Chippewa struggling to get it out of there. They're able to have that one leak out a bit far, but Hudson still pressuring, still trying to take cracks at it. Good pass there. Wonderful ball. And now Chippewa is on the counterattack. And a good defensive play there from Alex Ewig, keeping Chippewa away from having a really good look and a free ride down Main Street towards the goal. So Chippewa and Hudson will fight for possession near the 30-yard mark of the football field, about 40 yards away from goal. Chippewa is trying to spread out their attack a little bit. Hudson not having any of it right now, as we will get 3 subs for Chippewa, as that is (16 and 18).
Checking into the game for the Cardinals, number 16, Owen Gell, and number 18, Ashton Roper.
So Prater takes a knock past midfield, as he was a one-man show past the 50-yard mark. And that will earn a free kick for the Raiders. This is a little bit farther than their last free kick. I don't know. I would sure hope that he's watching. We hope that he gets better soon. I mean, it's not really the same without him here. He's the instigator for sure, in a good way. I don't know what word to use. As Hudson has a really good chance in the box, but it is cleaned up nicely by Steele Brook, who had a wonderful save against Colton Prater's rocket boot. And Chippewa still holding strong at a tie game right now, or a tied match, 0-0, as we enter the 26th minute of play. So Hudson, after earning a throw-in deep in their own territory, will try and send it midfield, but instead possession will change hands as Chippewa wins it. Chuck is watching? Okay. Hope he enjoys tonight's game. Chippewa was about 61 yards from goal, and they got pretty close to it. But after a light header goes straight into Biederman's waiting pause, Hudson will earn possession once more. Wonderful ball that was sent over, excuse me, as Prater's going to collect the pass in the box. Prater is going to hold on to it. Nava Barber's going to take a shot, and that is Trevor Nava Barber drawing first blood in tonight's match.
Goal for the Raiders, scored by number 15, Trevor Nava Barber. 1-0 Hudson in the 26th minute of play.
So Hudson, after having plenty of pressure being applied to Brook and company on the back line of Chippewa, finally a crack emerged, and Nava Barber was able to find it, locate it, and be able to score here. As thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it. As Chippewa will win possession once more in their own territory. One of a few free kicks that Shy High has won. Good defensive play, though, from Hudson. Able to keep that away from being too dangerous, as Prater's going to collect the ball for possession, finding Nava Barber. Barber looking for Sam Ross and finds him. Ross with a quick pass over to Prater. Prater is going to find Phillipson. Wonderful through ball, and Phillipson could not get his foot on it. Prater with a lovely ball, but Brook was able to sniff it out before it got too wary of a situation. And after a not so good pass from Grickus intended for Nava Barber, we will get a substitute, or a couple of them, from Chippewa Falls.
I don't know who 12 is, so I'm just gonna say Ethan. Checking in for Chippewa Falls, number 17, Ethan Sauer.
Oh, shoot.
I saw it. Also checking in at the last stoppage, number 12, Ryan Krumenauer.
Krumenauer also wears number 1, so he was at the top of the list, and I wasn't looking for him, so my apologies. He wears number 1 and number 12. So Hudson with a free kick right outside the box, looking to score their second goal of the night in the 29th minute of play. So Prater and Phillipson, can't miss those two, especially Phillipson with those hot pink cleats, as one of them will take it. Phillipson lining up to the left of Prater. Phillipson's going to run over it. Prater takes a crack at it, and in between the two crossbars, the football uprights and the soccer goal. And that will result in a fruitless effort for Hudson to go up 2-0, as they are still at 1-0 here in the 29th minute. Miller with a header, trying to move that one forward to one of Hudson's forwards. And that ball travels far and wide, as that one went all the way back towards Biederman. Ross with it. He's going to send that ball pretty high up into the air, trying to find Phillipson. Phillipson settles it and controls it. Prater, though, losing it, but he is able to be helped out by Phillipson, and Prater loses it once more after being surrounded by a few Chippewa defenders. Prater receives another pass, gets that one up to Ross. Ross is going to find Grickus. Grickus is going to try and position himself for a shot, and he was trying to get it to his strong foot, as his weak side foot, his left foot, would have been able to try and tap that one in, but Grickus was not comfortable with the angle at it, and it ends up with Hudson losing possession. Miller collecting it after the goal kick. Finding Denning and Busecki. Trying to get that one up to Phillipson. Phillipson couldn't quite get a foot on the ball, though. So Hudson spreading it out. Now they're on the left flank. Sam Ross battling for it. Gets that one out to Nava Barber. Barber's going to try and cross it in. Bit of a low trajectory, though, and Chippewa is able to sniff that one out easily. Miller with it now, trying to find Denning. Passes a bit too wide of him. Busecki going up to Phillipson. Phillipson gets his pass intercepted by a Cardinal. Corey Denning took a shot, and he took a knock along with it after unloading some power on that one. And that ball went out of play, last touched by a Cardinal. So Hudson will win another throw in deep in Chippewa Falls' territory. Hesitation on the throw-in. Hudson trying to get set. Grickus trying to retrieve the throw-in and control it. Wasn't quite able to, as that ball's going to leak all the way back out towards Ober. Ober's going to find Barber. Sam Ross finding himself with it on the left flank. He's going to move that one towards the middle of the field. Denning finding Busecki. Busecki over to Phillipson. Phillipson is going to try and keep that ball on the ground with a pass through the box, but it was apprehended by a member of the Chippewa Falls defense. And after a ball goes out of play, it was last touched by a Cardinal boot. So we are about to get some more substitutions. We have 2 on deck for Hudson and 1 for Chippewa Falls. As that's going to be Darren Chuckle and Joshua Davis, as a corner kick is won for Hudson, as Brooke is not happy with himself after mishandling that one. And referee's going to come over, and he's going to tell him some words of wisdom, I'm assuming. And we will get our substitutions in. 3 total, 2 for Hudson, 1 for Chippewa Falls.
Checking into the game for Chippewa Falls, number 15, Tyus Vokovan. And checking in for the Hudson Raiders, number 11, Darren Chuckle, and number 13, Joshua Davis.
So corner kick taken by Hudson, as Chippewa Falls able to fend it off, but Prater is coming with the second effort. Prater wipes off 3 defensemen. Darren is going to take a shot near post side, and he tried to just direct that straight in front of Brooke, and Brooke was able to stay strong in net, be that anchor that Chippewa needs. And Hudson will take another corner. That one taken, it's closer to the net now. Header opportunity for Joshua Davis. Second effort by Corey Denning, and a third effort was made right in front of the goal. And it was all for naught once more, and Hudson will stay at only 1 goal total in the 35th minute of play. So goal kick over to the right side from Chippewa Falls' perspective, left side for Hudson's. Hudson's going to control it on the back end, going to go with a over strategy, trying to send that ball above Chippewa's defensive backs. Chippewa kind of punting the ball back to Hudson in the midfield. Hudson winning possession, though, as a wonderful slide tackle there from, I believe, number 6, Colin Albright. Keeping Ober away from having possession for too much longer, and Sam Ross finds it with himself now. Ross trying to find a forward. A little bit too light of a touch, though, and there were 2 Chippewa defenders right in front of Sam Ross's intended target. Miller shields off his man, and he's able to win possession, finding Denning. Denning's going to try and find a forward and a Hudson player hitting the turf. That would be Joshua Davis, who kind of hesitated on going to the ball, trying to track it and field it. And Brooke was a step ahead of him by getting that ball out of play and letting Chippewa Falls breathe for a little bit longer. So ball out of play once more. Hudson will earn a throw-in. Throw-in taken by Prater. Prater is going to slide on the turf for a few yards after getting possession taken away from him, but he pressures enough for another Hudson throw-in at relatively the same spot as last time. Throw-in intended for Davis. And once more, sounding like a broken record, 3 straight throw-ins for Hudson. Higher throw-in this time, this one being played into the box, and that will be a no-go for goal-scoring opportunities, as Hudson gives it back to Chippewa once more for a goal kick. So Hudson earning a throw-in after a Chippewa Falls goal kick. Chippewa, in the last handful of minutes here, have not been able to hold on possession for a substantial amount of time. Hudson has been really pressuring in the midfield, winning 50-50 battles as Ross takes possession away. Sam Ross trying to find a forward and does. Pass intended for either Chuckle or Prater to pick up. Instead is cleared out by Chippewa Falls horizontally, and they will get a throw-in on the near side of the pitch. Miller stopping. He's going to pass that one over to Sam Ross. Ross hesitates. And Prater and Ross trying to play a little bit of Princeton two-man in the middle. Doesn't quite work out, though. And Ober and the Raiders will start from scratch in the midfield. Grickus is going to take a shot, and Grickus buried it. Wonderful play from Grickus, able to stay strong and angle that one perfectly.
Goal for the Raiders, scored by number 8, Joey Grickus. Checking into the game for Chippewa Falls, number 16, Owen Gell. Hudson 2, Chippewa Falls 0 in the 38th minute.
So Chippewa was trying to force the issue there, being aggressive, but doesn't quite work out. As Hudson earns possession once more. Hudson with a throw-in near midfield. Denning's going to fight for possession. Denning's going to get stopped, but Hudson able to keep with it. Prater's going to back heel touch that one. Back to some cavalry help. And Chippewa Falls will just elect to defend a throw-in rather than a cross opportunity for Hudson. So Hudson in the box now. They're threatening Sam Ross with it, and Ross was close, too near of the near post, though. And no, they're going to say, excuse me, that was deflected by a Chippewa Fall Cardinal. So Hudson will win a corner kick. So Hudson, with just under 6 minutes till halftime, will take a corner from the near side. Into the box, Hudson will at least take a crack at it, and Lake Busecki could not fit that one in, a bit wide of the right side post. So Seidel looking to check in for Hudson, along with Nava Barber and Paul Phillipson, as we get a group of 3 substitutes. So Chippewa Falls winning a throw-in far side of the pitch. Hudson's going to send that one back towards midfield, and we will get, maybe not, maybe I spoke a bit prematurely, as those Hudson subs will stay on the sideline. So an attempt to send that ball over does not quite work out for Hudson. As Chippewa Falls will add their hand into the mix, that being 23, Jacob Bowe. Chippewa with a glimpse of hope there, being swallowed up by Hudson's back line. Wonderful ball up to Darren Chuckle. Can he make something of it? Darren Chuckle's going to try and find a teammate in the box. Chippewa, though, able to fend it off, as the young spark plug as a substitute for this Hudson squad has been a great creator and scorer for the Raiders off the bench. So Hudson working with it, far side, crosses a bit way too high. As Chuckle will win a corner kick, and we will get our substitutes here for Hudson and Chippewa Falls.
Checking in for Chippewa Falls, number 23, Jacob Bowe. And checking in for the Hudson Raiders, number 2, Paul Phillipson, number 7, Connor Seidel, and number 15, Trevor Nava Barber.
So Hudson takes their corner. They're going to send out one a bit wide and top of the box. Now with a header being turned on, and that is a goal, as that was scored by Corey Denning using the back of his head to score that one. 3-0 Hudson.
Goal for the Raiders, scored by number 14, Corey Denning. Hudson 3, Chippewa Falls 0 in the 43rd minute of play.
Corey Denning. Oh, it's not the baby picture? That's still his name. So we're in the 43rd minute of play. 42 minutes and 40 seconds have passed in this match. Throwing for Hudson in their own end. Chippewa, though, able to win possession. And Chippewa will win a throw-in after adding some pressure to Hudson being on the far side of the field and not able to keep that one in play in the confines of the pitch. Pass out to Miller is successful. Miller is going to find Seidel looking for Barber and is able to successfully get that pass over. Barber over to Phillipson. Phillipson's going to take a shot. That one's saved by Steele Brook. And Chippewa Falls is able to clear that one out of play for a Hudson throw-in in the 43rd minute. So a far side throw-in. It looked like the ball slipped after the motion of the hands. And couldn't catch what number it was, but throw-ins to yourself are not legal in soccer. So I'm going to go out on a hunch and say, oh, that's Busecki. Okay, so Lake had the right idea on the throw-in, but he just couldn't quite get his hands on it. We saw that in the, well, not we. We weren't televising the JV game, but in the JV game, some players had some issues with holding onto the ball. So those damp conditions will continue on to the varsity match as we are at 44 minutes and 30 seconds passing. We hope for a good second half of soccer as Hudson's going to try and set up a scoring chance before the half ends. We hope to see you in the second half of play between the Chippewa Falls Cardinals and the Hudson Raiders.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the end of the first half, with your score being the visiting Chippewa Falls Cardinals 0 and your home Hudson Raiders 3. We hope to see you back at the second half.
So we'll start off the second half. Chippewa Falls with possession in the midfield. Nice takeaway there from Connor Seidel, excuse me. Riley Neer with it. Neer up to Nickerson. And Cade trying to send that ball into the box, but sort of a shielding defensive play using the back of his calf is Nolan Christie. So that will be a Hudson corner kick that will be taken by Cade Nickerson. Nickerson sends that one in, and that is a bit too far of everyone. And that ball will roll out for a Chippewa Falls throw-in in their own end. So throw-in for Chippewa Falls. And a pass right after it was a bit errant. And Chippewa gives that one right back to Hudson at pretty much the same spot as the last throw-in for Chippewa Falls. Hudson with some good positioning now to potentially go up 4-0 with this throw-in. They're in the box. Pass being swallowed up by Cardinal defenseman. As we get a visit from who Chuck would call soccer royalty, Mr. Ellingson, checking in on the varsity game as Hudson with a opportunity to add a fourth goal to the total in the 48th minute, but a bit too far of the left side post. So goal kick for Chippewa, trails off to the near side of the pitch. Not too far distance-wise, and Chippewa is able to keep possession for a throw-in. Throw-in collected by Denning. As a Neer fights for possession and wins, getting that one up to Nickerson. Pass going back out towards midfield. Now Hudson's going to try and move that one into the box. Lou Smith on the ball, along with Cade. Denning receives a pass. Denning finding a man outside the box. That would be Seidel, and Connor Seidel put that one right into the breadbasket of Steelbrook. As not much extra effort was needed for Brook, who has seen a lot of shots tonight, letting in 3 as Chippewa's defense at some points during Hudson's offensive attack have kind of looked like traffic cones, and at least some points, but otherwise Chippewa Falls has been pretty physical with Hudson, keeping the intensity up, and you know, if you keep track of the away games that Hudson has played this season, and I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that Hudson won 10-0 against Shy High not too long ago, and that was in about the 80th minute of play, a little bit past that. And this game has not definitely fit that trend, as Hudson has had another chance outside of the box, but not able to cash in are the Raiders. So Chippewa Falls, feeling threatened by Hudson getting close to the box, are able to keep that one away from Hudson's forwards, and now the Cardinals will work from their own end. Denning, though, going to fight Christie for it. And a Hudson pass goes out of play and will be taken by Solomon Mason. Throw-in goes past plenty of Chippewa Falls forwards. Prater playing in a defensive back position, collects a pass from Neer. Neer receives a pass from Biederman. And after Denning tried to go over the top to Lou Smith, it will be Sam Jacobson with possession. Denning finding a teammate far side. Into Seidel, Connor Seidel, moving that one through. Quick passes as Hudson is spreading out the attack with quick, crisp, wonderful balls, as that shot is a bit high and wide of the goal. Good idea, though, from Riley Neer. The senior defenseman getting plenty of action on senior night. So Corey Denning controlling possession. Gave that one up to Connor Seidel, who had possession taken away. Hudson and Chippewa will fight for possession in midfield, and that ball was last touched by Jordan Simonson. Prater finding Denning. Denning going to go all the way across field, trying to find Braden Miller. Miller was not home, though. That ball was a bit too far away from him. Neer trying to find Denning, but too heavy of a touch there on that pass. Ober's going to control it. Ober finding Neer for some relief. Neer is going to go up to Cade Nickerson. Cade gave that one to Connor Seidel, and Seidel was trying to find either Varensberg or Lou Smith, as that ball will roll out of play for a throw-in. And Landon Brunke is going to check in for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals in a hot second. So here comes the substitution for Chippewa.
Checking in for Chippewa Falls, number 2, Landon Brunke, and number 20, Mitchell Romanstead.
So Hudson winning a free kick. Into the box it goes, and behind the goal it will travel. As Chippewa will be awarded a goal kick. That free kick taken by Prater, who was looking for a runner on the far post, but no one was home. Denning, who has been really active in midfield so far tonight, will win possession for Hudson, and a throw-in will be taken by Riley Neer. Chippewa collects the ball once more in their box. In the 56th minute of play. Hudson still at 3-0. Same score as halftime. Hudson passing it around the back, spreading out their attack to set up for their forwards to have plenty of space. Denning is going to receive a pass. Denning is going to turn that ball inward. Going to pass it through the middle of the field to Seidel. Seidel over to Neer. Neer's going to send that ball over, and Chippewa able to keep it out of the box. Seidel with another effort, trying to find Lou Smith, but Chippewa able to weather the storm once more. Prater with a nice move there in midfield. He's going to keep it himself and passes that one out to Smith. And a wonderful chance, and that is scored after some wonderful passes, as that one will be the 4th goal for the Hudson Raiders, scored by Cade Nickerson.
Goal for the Raiders scored by number 18, Cade Nickerson.
So after Chippewa metaphorically punts it once more to Hudson, Colton Prater will handle possession in the back end, trying to find Denning. Passes a bit too far of his foot, though. So Hudson with possession once more in midfield. And a not-so-good pass will earn a throw-in for Chippewa Falls, as they will substitute in Colin Albright.
Checking in for the Cardinals, number 6, Colin Albright.
So after Hudson gave up possession to Chippewa, Chippewa gave it right back to Hudson, and a throw-in is resulting in a Nicely spread out attack for the Raiders. Denning giving it to Prater. Prater going to move that one up towards midfield as Jacobson shields off a defenseman, or not a defenseman, but a defender. Hudson moving it pretty nicely, but they're keeping it conservative and slow, not trying to give up possession like they just did with that pass. Chippewa Falls stopped about 50 yards away from goal as that ball, after a good defensive effort from Ober and Denning, leaked back out to Prater. And now Hudson will work with it on the far side. Varensberg receives the pass. Too heavy of a touch, though, trying to position himself to outrunning the assignment marked on him. And it'll be collected by Steele Brook. So Chippewa trying to hold on possession for at least a substantial amount of time. They haven't really been able to so far in tonight's contest between the number 2 team in not only their bracket, but in the conference, Hudson Raiders, as these two will meet once more on Tuesday. A pass up to Cade Nickerson is played well by Cade, putting that one back to some help behind him. And after Varensberg gets stopped on the flank, we have a substitution for Hudson, that being number 16, Noah Beckemeyer.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 16, Noah Beckemeyer.
So Hudson earns another throw-in, changing the color of the balls. Riley Neer will take it, hesitates. He's going to take a second crack at it. He's going to send that one high and over some defensive backs. And Hudson, after having a pretty solid look at adding their 5th goal of the night, they will earn a corner kick instead, after Lou Smith could not reach the ball in time to keep that one in play. So after a corner is taken, once more Hudson will have to rework, and they're going to take another cross, this time not from a corner, and that ball will be too wide of the out-of-play line, as we will get a substitute, number 23, Alex Ewig.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 23, Alex Ewig.
As that will be Cole Ober stepping off for Hudson. And a really key cog in this Raider machine so far this season. A wonderful piece on the back line for the Raiders. So Chippewa holding possession, and they're just going to try and win a throw-in, and they are successful in that endeavor after playing that one off of a Hudson Raider, as we will get Zach Parkhurst in for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals.
Checking in for the Cardinals, number 19, Zach Parkhurst.
So Chippewa is going to send that ball sky high. It's collected by Prater. Prater has plenty of white jerseys around him, but he's able to keep it and find a teammate. Can Hudson hold on to it? Yes, they can. They're still backed up in their own territory, though, and Neer will receive a pass. Busecki is looking to check in for the Raiders, the big physical 1'9" on the defensive side of the pitch for the Navy and White. And Nickerson cannot control the ball, and we will see Lake Busecki make another cameo in this match.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, number 19, Lake Busecki.
So Lou Smith with possession, trying to find a winger on the left flank. And Hudson trying to move it into the box and fails. As we are in the 64th minute of play, Hudson 4, Shy High 0. In the last home regular season match for the Hudson Raiders. Senior night, a big night for the upperclassmen, the ones who will be graduating and doing things past high school later on. So a corner kick will be taken, and that is off the boot of Lake Busecki, who just checked in not too long ago. Sent that one upward, as we will swap a Biederman for Biederman at this stoppage right here.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, goalkeeper number 1, Lucas Biederman.
So Jared steps out and little brother Lucas steps in. As in our next stoppage, we will get Tyus Vokovan as the next substitute for Chippewa Falls. And speaking of Chippewa Falls, they're trying to keep this one out of Raider possession. Hudson getting dangerously close to having a good scoring chance. Pass a bit wide of Busecki, though, so Hudson will have to backtrack. Prater with a nice hesitation move. Finding Alex Ewig. Ewig is going to look for Cade Nickerson. And he was looking for Gustav Vernsberg. Hudson will rework their offense once more. They'll move it opposite flanks, as that pass was intended for Sam Jacobson. Throw-in taken by Hudson, collected by Noah Beckemeyer. Beckemeyer over to Busecki, back to Beckemeyer. Beckemeyer is going to look for Prater and finds him. Good play there from Seidel. Quick one-touch leading Riley near. Cade Nickerson and Near playing some two-man right now. And Near trying to find a player on the opposite side of the field. Good interception, though, by Chippewa Falls, slowing down Hudson's offense once more, and Prater will be too strong on that ball over the back end of Chippewa Falls.
Checking into the game for the Cardinals, number 15, Tyus Vokovan.
So 67th minute of play. Score still 4-0 after a good amount of time. Hudson, not for a lack of effort, though. They certainly feel like that they could have more goals by now. But Chippewa Falls able to continue to stay physical with Hudson, at least for a good chunk of the match so far. And we will get a three-man substitution. That's going to be Paul Phillipson, Trevor Nava-Barber, and Jared Biederman. As Biederman was rumored to play out a bit in the field, and that's what Solom wanted. Took him out as goalkeeper, had his brother check in. And it looks like they will check in before this corner kick.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, number 2, Paul Phillipson, number 15, Trevor Nava-Barber, and number 24, Jared Biederman.
So we get plenty of Biederman fans. Crowd is loving Biederman playing out in the field for senior night. Free kick, taken short to Paul Phillipson. Phillipson is able to get the goalie to sweat a little bit, and that's Jared Biederman coming right in, and he was Johnny on the spot, right place at the right time. Goal for the Hudson Raiders.
Goal for the Raiders, scored by number 24, Jared Biederman. Hudson Raiders 5, Chippewa Falls Cardinals 0 in the 68th minute of play.
Big time goal there for the former goalkeeper, but now a star forward as of tonight on senior night. Hudson trying to force the issue, trying to add more heat to the kitchen, although Chippewa Falls is able to stay strong and not let Hudson do too much. Hudson, though, winning possession once more in Chippewa Falls' end. Paul Phillipson with it. Phillipson trying to find Biederman, can't quite fit it in there. And Chippewa will hold possession here for a little bit, being a bit more hesitant and trying to get a smart pass as someone took a really bad knock, as that would be Noah Beckemeyer, who stood right in front of the ball, and he took a cold, hard ball to the midsection. As once more, Chippewa Falls will keep it out of Hudson's potential goal-scoring opportunity, keeping that one away and off the pitch, as hopefully Beckemeyer will be okay. I mean, I would say that, but yeah. As we get 2 substitutes for Chippewa Falls.
Checking in for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals, number 8, Nolan Christie, and number 23, Jacob Bowe. Checking in at the last stoppage, number 21, Colton Prater.
So after a unsuccessful offensive effort from the Raiders, as we are now in the 70th minute of play, Hudson still up 5, as we are getting close to only about 20 minutes being left to go in this game, or excuse me, this match. Chippewa winning a throw-in. Busecki fighting for possession. And good idea there from Hudson. But Chippewa able to stay strong and not letting them break through the defense right now. As at this point, Chippewa and Hudson are both playing for pride and to, for Hudson at least, beef up their conference record, as Hudson is sitting pretty at 2nd in the conference and 2nd in their bracket. The only one being ahead of them in both criterias being Eau Claire Memorial. As if you remember the home broadcast between, or at least the Hudson Raiders home broadcast between Eau Claire Memorial and Hudson, the old Abes and the Raiders ended in a draw, 1-1. And that plays a big factor into standings, because if I remember correctly, I think Eau Claire Memorial defended home field well and were able to take a win off of, or take a potential win away from Hudson, Eau Claire Memorial being one of the best clubs in the state, as we will get a substitution for Chippewa Falls, that being Jalen Hill Esirto.
Checking into the game for Chippewa Falls, number 3, Jalen Hill Esirto.
So Chippewa falls after a goal kick. Doesn't go too far. And they will both fight for position in the midfield once more, as that has been a custom in this match. And Hudson will win it once more. Good play there from Alex Ewig. And a foul is called as Ewig hit the turf. So Hudson and Chippewa going back and forth in Chippewa's end. Chippewa able to clear that one out. Hudson winning possession in midfield. Phillipson with it. Good move to move that one through, and Biederman could not handle and keep control. And a pass intended for Biederman almost went out to Nava Barber. And that one will go out of play. Either for a deep throw in for Hudson, and it looked like it will be, as they will swap out a new ball. As we get a stoppage in play, and Joey Grickus will check in for the Raiders.
Checking into the game for the Hudson Raiders, number 8, Joey Grickus.
So a deep throw in for Hudson, and Prater will take a stab at it, and that ball will trail wide. And Hudson will stay at a 5-goal lead. Well, and I guess in some other Hudson sports news, the Hudson Raiders football, or the varsity football team, excuse me, if you watched Ken Cohen's wonderful broadcast of that playoff clinching win against Eau Claire Memorial. And if Eau Claire Memorial wins this upcoming week against Menominee, and I'll get to that in a second as Phillipson has the ball into the box, and it will be marked offside. And that's a rough one. Phillipson taking a quick little look at the line judge, or the side judge. And it will be another, well, it won't be another goal kick. It'll be a free kick right next to the marker for a goal kick. So if Eau Claire Memorial wins against Menominee, I believe they play this upcoming week, that means the Big Rivers Conference will send 5 representatives to the WIAA football state playoffs, which is something that doesn't happen all that much. And there are definitely 5 quality teams in the Big Rivers Conference. Seen it all season long, as Steel Brook is able to field that one easily. And with Menominee, Superior, River Falls, Hudson, and Eau Claire Memorial being really solid teams, it's created great competition in the Big Rivers Conference. And it has certainly been a fun season to spectate as a high school student here at Hudson High School. And Biederman with a nice move there, keeping a defender away. Phillipson will send that ball into the box. That one trails away from Chippewa Falls defense. Busecki took a try at it, and it was too far away of the left post. So in the 76th minute of play, about to enter the 77th, Hudson and Chippewa have stayed at a 5-0 score for a little while now. As we will get some substitutions in for Hudson. Some guys need to stay warm and get out onto the pitch. And those players would be Cole Olber, Darren Chuckle, and Joshua Davis. So Hudson with possession in the midfield. They're going to backtrack. Prater fielding a pass. Prater's going to hold onto it, trying to find an open man, and does. Hudson moving it through the middle of the field. Prater getting the favor returned, and Prater's going to hold onto it now. Prater's going to show off some moves, I guess. And a wonderful nutmeg from Paul Phillipson. Paul Phillipson. Finding Lou Smith running. But Lou Smith wasn't able to hold on to it for much longer after he received the pass. He's going to fight for possession, though, and he wins it. Smith trying to find a teammate in the box. And a no-go, so we will get our substitutions.
Checking in for Chippewa Falls, number 10, Solomon Mason. And checking in for the Hudson Raiders, number 6, Cole Ober. Number 11, Darren Chuckle. And number 13, Josh Davis.
So a deep throw in towards the box will be collected by Chippewa Falls. Oh shoot, I didn't even have the mic on me, excuse me. As a Hudson had a throw in, but Chippewa Falls is able to fend off Hudson from keeping it. Chippewa Falls getting some offensive sparks late in the match, and a Chippewa Falls player hits the turf. Referees elect to not call it, though, as that pass will be moved up towards Ober. Ober's going to send that one onward, and it will be collected by Steele Brook. Hudson with possession. Cole Ober playing in a forward position and trying to find Chuckle over the top, and Chuckle could not reach it in time. As we will get a substitution from Chippewa Falls.
Checking into the game for Chippewa Falls, number 12, Ryan Krumenauer, and number 13, Jordan Simonson.
Oh, yeah. So a throw-in for Chippewa Falls as we pass the 80 minutes played in the 81st minute of play right now. Lucas Biederman will get his first call of the night besides the substitution. As Hudson tried to send that ball over. And instead, after Hudson giving that possession up to Chippewa Falls, Chippewa will return the favor right back to the Raiders. As we are getting close to the end of this match at 80 minutes and 57 seconds past. As almost a dangerous situation for Hudson. They want to keep the clean sheet right now, and they're able to, as Prater was able to keep that ball out of harm's way. Finding Near trying to find Chuckle, and Chuckle will play some aggressive defense and keep that away, or keep that ball away from being an issue. So ball will trail out of play. And Chuckle tried to keep that one in play, wasn't able to. As pretty soon we will get a substitution. That would be Mason Brune checking in for Chippewa Falls.
Checking in for Chippewa Falls, number 14, Mason Brune.
Chippewa with another throw-in after Hudson just kind of sent that one back. Throw-in taken by Nolan Christie, trying to find Mason Brune. But Brune is apprehended by Lou Smith. Smith looking to keep possession. Christie hits the turf. And Hudson will once more win possession in their own end. They're going to try and move it through the middle of the field. And after a pass is stopped, Hudson will try an extra effort. And that's going to be an offsides on the Raiders, as those have come up a few times. As a free kick is sent way out of play. On offsides. Okay, well, when a player passes the ball, it is the judge's decision. So whenever the ball is starting to leave his foot, wherever the player that touches the ball next is positioned, if it's past the back line, so with a deflection like that, he was positioned behind the back line. So when he started passing the ball, he was behind the line. So even if it's deflected, it's still offsides if he touches it. I know it can be confusing. It was for me too when the first few years of my sister playing soccer and trying to understand it. So Near controlling possession on the near right side. Darren Chuckle going to try and outspeed a defenseman. And he does, but he wasn't able to connect on the pass. So Hudson with possession. That's Ober on the front line. Ober's going to unwind and take a shot. Deflection up. Chuckle tries to head it in, and Chuckle is able to fit that one in off of a kind of a tipsy-topsy bounce. Just unlucky for the goalkeeper, but Chuckle buries one. And a good play there from the sophomore.
Goal for the Raiders, scored by number 11, Darren Chuckle.
Chuckle kind of sent that one straight into the ground. And in the 86th minute of play, Hudson has added their 6th total goal to a impressive night to finish off the home games of the regular season. And Grickus gets knocked to the turf as he was stopped by Colin Albright, as it looked like Albright was just looking to stop the body and kind of shield it away, let his shoulder in, as we will get a substitution for Chippewa Falls, that being Ethan Sauerer. Or Sauerer. Prater will take the free kick from about 37, 38 yards out. Prater's going to send that one, and that would be good for an extra point as that ball goes all the way out onto the street. That one rolling all the way out into St. Pat's. A stupendous boot from Colton Prater as we get a substitution for Chippewa Falls.
Checking in for Chippewa Falls, number 17, Ethan Sauerer.
See, I added an extra U when it wasn't necessary. It's just by reflex now, I guess. It's Sarah-er, or Sarah-ur, or something like that, but I added a U before the first A. So Hudson will control it on the back end in the 88th minute of play. So Darren Chuckle with it. Chuckle trying to find Lou Smith, and Smith got cut off by a Chippewa Falls defenseman. Chuckle, though, going to fight for possession, trying to leave that one for Neer, and Neer gets his pass sent skyward as Alex Ewig cleaned up the mess, and we will get a Gustav Vernsberg cameo in this game. And as we have two players hit the turf, that being number 13, Jordan Simonson, and number 7, Connor Seidel.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, number 22, Gustav Vernsberg.
So 88 minutes have passed with an extra 37 seconds on top of it. Chippewa Falls will send a free kick into the box. Hudson determined to keep that clean sheet. And we'll see if they can hold on. Grickus with a wonderful slide tackle, keeping that one away from danger as we head into the 90th minute, as 89 minutes have passed in the match. Breer's going to hold on to it. He's going to send that one cross field past Smith and Chuckle, but Chuckle's going to try and control it. Instead, it's taken by Jordan Simonson, finding a teammate in midfield, that being Zach Parkhurst. Parkhurst with it once more, passing the 30-yard mark. Now he's about 30 yards away from goal. And a good defensive play. As we near the last 10 seconds, I will wrap the broadcast up after the final countdown and the final score being told over public address. We hope that you had a good night watching Raider soccer.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's the end of the match, with your final score being the visiting Chippewa Falls Cardinals 0 and your Hudson Raiders 6. We hope to see you back here for next Tuesday's playoff match between the Hudson Raiders and Chippewa Falls Cardinals. 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Drive safe. Good night.
So that is the end of the broadcast. For Chuck Bublitz, I am Brian Mose, who could not be here. For Adam Tilson and Ryan DeLaCroix, we hope you enjoyed tonight's match. And we hope to see you either Thursday or next Tuesday, whether that be a River Falls Hudson game or another Chippewa Falls Hudson installment in the playoffs. We hope that you have a good night and a good rest of your week. See you later.